Assalamu alaikum. This is course code 9051, and the title of the course is Introduction to Linguistics. So, you are students of AIOU, and this is obviously the first course that is included in your syllabus that is related to language. Okay, so when we study English, there are two major aspects of English as a subject. Okay, the first thing that we study about English is English literature. Okay, and when we talk about literature, in literature we study, dramas, we study novels, study the poetry, we study the prose, and we study the fictions, and we study the short stories as well. So all these things, they are included in the domain of literature. The second major field related to the English subject is linguistics. So linguistics deals with the description of the language and the explanation of the language, the way the language works, and what is language, how language works, how the words are formed, and various other things that are related to, language. So linguistics is basically the study of language. Okay, so this is your first unit, and this unit is titled as the origin of language. Okay, and in this particular unit we are going to study what is language, what is the historical background of language, what are the characteristics of language, the changing paradigms of language, or the way the language or any language it changes over the period of time. Okay, then we are going to study certain classifications of language, or the language families as we know them. Okay, that how is it that we have so many languages in the world. Okay, so this thing, it is dealt in under the classification of the language. And finally, at the very end of the unit, we are going to have a know about what is linguistics. Okay, we are going to have a look at the definition of linguistics, and what do we do when we study linguistics, or what are the different fields that are covered under the umbrella term of linguistics. Okay, so first of all, let us have a look at various definitions of language. Okay, so when we talk about language and we ask student that what is language, and they say that language is a medium of communication. Obviously that is right, that language is the medium of communication, but this definition that language is the medium of communication, it is not a complete definition, because it is not describing the language, rather it is describing the function of the language. Okay, so the first definition here we have is given by Sapir, and he says that language is a purely human and non-instinctive method of communicating ideas, emotions, and desires by the means of voluntarily produced symbols. Okay, uh, there are certain features of this definition that you must note. First of all, that language is a purely human. It means that it is only related to human, and no other being it possesses the language. Okay, the second thing is non-instinctive method of communicating. What is meant by instinctive? Instinctive is something that is our natural response to something. Okay, so according to Sapir, language is non-instinctive. It means that it is not a natural response of a human being to his needs or his emotions or his desires. As a matter of fact, if it has been a natural response, then we would have only one language in the world. So it is not natural response, it is rather non-instinctive method, okay? And it is used to communicate. We are discussing the function. It is used to communicate ideas, it is used to communicate emotions, it is used to communicate the desires, and by the means of voluntarily produced symbols. It means that we human beings, we use symbols in the language, and those symbols, they are voluntarily produced. We produce them voluntarily, okay? So that is the first definition of language. Now let us have a look at the second definition of language. It is given by Bloch and Traeger, and they say that language is a system of arbitrary vocal symbols. Now we already learned that language is purely human, it is used to communicate ideas, and it is non-instinctive. Now there is a new word, and it is arbitrary. By arbitrary we mean random. By arbitrary we mean random things, that the symbols that are used in the language, okay, they are random symbols. Well, it means that they have no logical connection with the words or with the ideas that they are communicating. And he says that language is a system of arbitrary vocal symbols by means of which a social group cooperates. Now, there is a new term included here, that is a social group. So, language is related to society, it is related to social groups. If there is an alone individual who's living all alone, he doesn't need language. So we need language to stay in the groups. We need language to be social. We need language for the socialization. Okay. So language number one. Now we have added two more things, that languages are arbitrary and it is social. The third definition is given by Hall, and he says the institution. Now the institution, it is a very vast term. It is a very vast term. The institution whereby humans communicate and interact. Now again, we are reminded by this definition that language is purely concerned with the human beings, and it is not concerned with the any other being. So it is an institution whereby human beings communicate and interact with each other. So this language, it is used to communicate between the human beings by the means of habitually used oral or auditory arbitrary symbols. Now these are the words that are important. Number one, habitually. That according to him, that language is habit, the way we form habits, okay? So when we're talking, we move our hands, it is our habit. There are some people who go to bed early, it is their habit. So according to her, language is a habit, and it is this habit, it is used oral, auditory, arbitrary symbols. So far now we have learned that uh, the symbols are there. Now we are learning that these are oral and auditory. By oral, it means that the symbols, they can be spoken as I am speaking to you, and they are auditory, it means that they can be listened. And again, arbitrary, it means that the symbols, they are random. It means that the meaning that they are communicating, the meanings that the symbols are communicating, there is no relationship between those symbols and the meanings that they are communicating. Now we have two more definitions. The first, the last one is by Chomsky. So you know that Chomsky is one of the leading linguists, in the field of language, and he has studied language a lot, and he has given his own theory of language, that is known as the theory of universal grammar. And he has also worked a lot on the language acquisition and the way we learn language, and he says that human beings, they are endowed by the god with डिवाइस कॉल्ड द लैंग्वेज एक्विजिशन डिवाइस। ठीक है कि अल्लाह ताला ने इंसानों को एक ऐसे जो है वो चीज़ से नवाजा है कि जो कि उनके जहनों के अंदर फिट है, और उसको लैंग्वेज एक्विजिशन डिवाइस कहा जाता है अकॉर्डिंग टू हिम। सो now Chomsky he says, or he defines a language as a set of sentences each finite in length and constructed out of finite set of elements. Now his definition is very interesting. So according to him, language is a set of finite or infinite sentences. By finite we mean limited, यानी कि एक खास नंबर है उसके बाद एंड हो जाता है, और by infinite we mean unlimited. Okay, it goes on and on and on and on. ठीक है। Now the sentences that are created in the language, they are not infinite in length, rather they are finite in length. Obviously they have a structure that is SVO, and after 2 or 3 or 5 lines, ultimately a sentence is going to end. Okay, and constructed out of finite set of elements. The sentences, they are constructed out of words, and obviously for words we have a dictionary, and in the dictionary we can count that in English language the total number of words is dash dash dash. Okay, and all those words, they are also made of finite set of elements. It means the letters, that is A B C, the alphabets. Okay, so these finite alphabets, they combine and they generate a finite set of words, and these words, they combine and they generate an infinite number of sentences. This is the way the language works. Okay, so the commonly accepted definition of the language is that language is a system of arbitrary vocal symbols used for human communication. Okay, ये इसकी एक accepted definition है कि any language, it is made of vocal symbols. Now why we are focusing on vocal or spoken language again and again, this thing, it will be explained to you in the section of characteristics of language. So we are going to talk about it in detail, that why we refer to the language as only the spoken language. Okay, so language, it uses some physical signs like sounds, like gestures, right, like symbols, and these sounds, these gestures, these symbols, these marks, they express the meaning. So this is what a language is. I hope now that you have clarified the concept of language. So now what are the functions of the language? The functions of the language, the main function of the language is obviously communication. We use language to communicate. We communicate. Now what do we communicate? We obviously communicate our needs, we communicate our desires, we communicate our emotions, we communicate our knowledge, we communicate the warning signs to each other. So all these things, they are communicated through language. So language is also an expression of identity. For example, when I'm speaking Urdu, so the people, they know that he belongs to the subcontinent. Okay, so the Urdu, it is my identity. So when I'm speaking Punjabi, the people, they are surely going to know that I belong to Punjab. Obviously my speaking dialect, it is going to tell them that I belong to the Pakistani part of Punjab and not the Indian part of Punjab. Language is used to play. It means that it has duality. It can play, it can convey the double meanings as well, and it is used for imaginative expressions. Something that is non-existent, we can use language to describe that, the the imagination. And it is also used for the emotional release. We use language for emotional release. For example, if I'm very angry and I shout at somebody, say, shut up, what are you doing? And at that very moment, it is my emotional release. I am going to feel relaxed, I am going to feel easy. So these are the various functions of the language that can be performed, that we can perform using a language. So now we are going to discuss some terms related to the language, and something about the language, various languages that are spoken in the world. Okay, so the knowledge of knowing the language encompasses the entire system, which is called competence. Now the entire knowledge that we have about a particular language, okay, you know, if I know English, obviously I know certain rules and regulations of English, and I have certain vocabulary or a limited number of words of English in my mind. Now, all that knowledge regarding language that I have in my mind is called competence. Okay, keep this term in mind because it will be repeated over and over again in the linguistics. So, competence, it is the overall knowledge of the language and the knowledge of the system of the language, that the way this particular language works. Okay, now this competence, it is very different from the behavior called performance. By performance we mean the actual speaking or actual writing of the language. Now there may be certain people that who know rules and regulations regarding English language, particularly tenses. Remember one of my juniors. He was very expert in tenses. Okay, so he had all the tenses and all the rules and regulations of the tenses on his fingertips, and he used to teach his class fellows regarding tenses. However, when it was the time of exam, and he was unable to do well in exam due to his language issue. Now having knowledge about a language is something else, and the actual way in which you use uh, that knowledge, it is totally different. Okay, that knowledge about the language is called the competence, and that use of language, the way you use that language, the vocabulary that you are using, the rules that you are employing while speaking or while writing, these rules and regulations, the use of these rules and regulations in the actual real life situation is called performance, and the knowledge of all this thing, it is called the competence. Okay, so there are about 5,000 languages in the world right now that have been discovered. Okay, and in all these 5,000 languages, they share certain properties, they share certain basic things. There are certain things that are common in all the languages. Okay, so we are going to discuss them in the third section of this unit. The next section, it is related to the theories of the origin of the language, that how is it that the language originated. Okay, so that is all for the first section. Thank you so much for listening. Take care, and Allah Hafiz.